All right, thank you. All right, good morning. All right, good morning, good morning, good morning, Starbright. It's very exciting to be in front of you today. So before we proceed any further, just give me a few seconds and let me share my screen. Ayan. So can everyone type in the chat? Can you type Y if you can see my screen, no? All right, thank you, sir. Argel. Okay, thank you, everyone. No, I appreciate that. Now, before we dive into this script that will help you standardize how we talk to clients, I'd first like to ask each and every one of you, why do people work so hard to earn money? Type it in our Zoom chat. Why do people work so hard to earn money? For the family, no? To live a better life? How about the others? Why do you think people work so hard to earn money? They have dreams they want to achieve. Exactly. For yes, you have many dreams. So you're on the money, my dear friends, no? They have a lot of dreams that they want to achieve. However, they cannot reach those dreams without money. Diba? It's also the first to address our basic needs. And that means that as long as we are able to have money, we are able to afford these basic needs. They say money cannot buy happiness, but it can certainly afford us the freedom to choose what we want to do, where we want to go, and how we will get there. Now, most people want this. However, not everyone is a good money manager. And that's where we come in as financial advisors. Our mission is to help these people achieve that financial freedom that they've always wanted. And to do that, we will need a process that will help us communicate to our clients that we are worth trusting, we are there for them, and we will take care of them. Because at the end of the day, people buy people. Can everyone type it in our Zoom chat? People buy people. Yes. Indeed, people buy people. Regardless of whatever product, you are the one that makes the difference. And today, with this script, this will help us achieve exactly that. Because this is what we look like if we do not have a script. Now, let's say we're meeting with our client online. Let's say we are in that situation right now. I am the advisor and you are the client. Hello, Mr. Client. Good morning. 'Di ba? Parang na-freeze na yung screen. Baka the client might wonder, baka baka wala ng internet si advisor, no? And syempre, we do not want that to happen, and we do not want to ruin that first impression because that's always very important. Now, as we go through the script and as we put in the repetitions, we'll find out that can actually say these things in our own way and develop our own style. And that's our purpose for today. We're here to establish our foundation for our so that later on we're able to personalize and naturalize it down the line. Now, before we get into our tool, no, may I ask everyone, would you like to learn a magic trick? Ah, not only will we have games today, may magic trick po tayo today. Would you like to learn that? Yes! Siyempre, para may konting ano, 'di ba? May konting dating when we move into this discovery tool. Now, let's say you're online with the client or ideally you're face to face with the client and you make them kamustahan and then you ask them for 3 coins. Ideally, they should be able to give you 3 coins. However, if not, make sure that you bring 3 coins with you every time you go out and see someone. But let's say they give you 3 coins. We say, "Thank you, Mr. Client. I appreciate you giving me these 3 coins. I know you're very well versed with money. And not only do these 3 coins represent cash, however, these also represent today three things that are very, very important when we earn money. Now, the first coin represents time. The second coin represents knowledge. And lastly, the third coin represents experience. So dapat nilalatag to in the table in front of the client para may extra pizzazz to yours to this magic trick. Now, Mr. Client, I just like to ask you a question. What happens if I take away your knowledge and I'll just leave you with time and experience? Do you think you can still make money? So type your response in the Zoom chat. Do you think you can still make money? Yes. Kaya pa. Because you have time naman. And you have the experience that you need. So all you have to do is relearn everything that you've lost and you will make money. Let's take it another step further, Mr. Client. I'll remove also your experience and I'll leave you with just time. Do you think you can still make money? Yes. Indeed, kayang-kaya pa. You have time on your side, and therefore, that means you have all the time to read and learn whatever you need to learn, and you have time to gain all the experience that you need to do in order to earn money. Now, Mr. Client, I'll give you back your experience, and I'll give you back your knowledge as well. Now, how about this one, Mr. Client? Let's check this out. What if naman I take away your time? And I'll just leave you with knowledge and experience. Do you think you can still make money? No, not anymore, right? Because as much as we don't want it to happen, the Lord can call us at any time. And when He does, unfortunately, we are not here in this world anymore to earn money. And that's why I'm here today to talk, Mr. Client. I'm not here to talk about just money. I'm here to talk about time. Time to make money, grow money, protect money, and distribute money. Would you like to discover how we can do that today? Syempre, yes, right? Now that's our transition into the discovery tool. No, so most important. So today, Mr. Client, we'll be going through many discoveries today. Parang Dora the Explorer lang yan. Mag-a-adventure po tayo. First of all, you will discover who I represent. I will discover what's important to you, and most importantly, we will discover how we can partner up together. But before we go embark on our adventure, I'd like to make certain promises to you. First, I promise that whatever we discuss today, it will only be between the two of us. Pinky swear po. Second of all, there's no commitment to make a decision today. At the end of the day, whatever you decide, I will respect that. I also will promise that I will give only the best solution that fits your needs and budget. And the most important of all, if you find any of these discoveries impactful in your life, who else would you like me to share these discoveries with? Now, when we transition into the next slide, and I will throw another question at you, my dear friends. What is AIA before it was named AIA? What was AIA called before it was AIA Philippines? Tama, Sir Argel, no? Feel life. And that's exactly the question we will throw to our clients. We will ask them what if they were familiar with Feel life so that we can show them the story of how we evolved over time. So let's say we're back in the conversation. Mr. Client, are you familiar with the insurance company Film Life? For sure, they will recall it. is that life insurance company that's color red. Well, Mr. Client, we are now known as AIA Philippines. No, we are now known as AIA Philippines. Now, not only are we now known as AIA Philippines, we have grown over the years. First, we have BPI AIA that handles our bank assurance. We also have Medicard, the leading HMO in the country. And for any for any investment needs rather, we have AIA IM. But I'm sure you're wondering, no, what have these group of companies contributed to the Philippines? Well, actually, AIA Philippines has been here for over 76 years. And over that 76 years, indeed, we have done something for the Filipino. Now, my dear friends, in this slide, all of these squares are clickable or pindotable on your iPad. So whether it's laptop, you can click on it, and iPad, you can make pindot to transition per each slide. Now, going back to the conversation. So what have we done exactly for the Filipino? Well, Mr. Client, what something that AIA Philippines is very good at is that we are good at delivering promises. So good, in fact, that last 2022 we have fulfilled 4 billion worth of promises. That means that we were able to send people to school. In case they got sick, we took care of them. And in the worst case scenario, when their families needed us the most, we made sure that not they had nothing to worry about in regards to their finances. Now, my friends, in this slide, we have these two arrows here. Now, these two arrows can either go back to our main hub or progress the conversation. And that gives our clients full control of where they want to go and make discoveries, whether they want to discover more about AAA or discover more about why we are talking together right now. But in this case, let's say our client wants to discover more about AAA. So, Mr. Client, indeed, aside from this, no, we were so good at fulfilling promises, clicking this white arrow, that we have actually spread across the Asia Pacific region. We are available in Asia, Australia, Indonesia, Korea, anywhere you think in the Asia Pacific, andun po kami. Now, let's say our client has already, they've already gotten enough information regarding EAA Philippines. We can now use this red arrow to progress. So, Mr. Client, I know you really want to know more about why we are here today together. Now, since a while ago I told you that I am talking about time. They say that the time our lives truly start is when we graduate from school. So after we graduate from college, we will look for our first job. Hopefully down the line we will meet a soulmate that we can choose to spend the rest of our lives with. And with that soulmate, we can you know, have kids, see them grow up and become their own people, leave the nest, and ultimately retire and enjoy the fruits of our labor. Now, Mr. Client, which time in life are you in right now? So let's say in this case, our client uh, is currently with dependents. Thank you, Mr. Client. I know I appreciate you for sharing that with me. Now, I know there's a lot of things going on in your life right now. Not only do you have to prepare, to make sure that you're able to provide for your partner and children, but also secure their future as well. Now, after we say that, this is a technique that I've learned over the past few weeks. Actually, it was shared by sila Sir DJ and the other UMs, no? So when we deliver this script, we always want to establish that sense of urgency, and to do that effectively, we will also ask them how much they prepared for emergency or how much they have prepared in securing or rather, how much they have prepared for their family's future. So let's go back to the conversation. Mr. Client, I'm just curious, how much have you prepared for when you, for your family rather? Okay, 1 million. For your children's future, am I correct? Okay, sige. Thank you for sharing that with me, Mr. Client. I really appreciate that. Now, given that there is a thing about life, no, there are a lot of things happening in life, but there are a lot of concerns that we have to address. Now, my dear friends, I'd like you to type in the Zoom chat, what are the two letters in the middle of life? Yes, there's a big if in life because yes, there are many what ifs there, but there are three that we have to address. First, what if I die too soon? Second, what if I get sick? And lastly, what if I live too long? We know that these three things here will happen to us, but we do not know when it will happen. And that's why this is something, these three what ifs are important to prepare for. Because the 1 million that you prepared, syempre we want to preserve that. And how we can preserve that is through this financial planning pyramid. Now, as we can see here, the base is protection, and the top two is at the top is investment, and in the middle is savings. Why is protection the most important? It's because that let's see that 1 million that you were able to prepare for for your family's future in case that of a rainy day, where will you get the money? Either from the investments or that 1 million that you have saved. And syempre, sayang naman all of your efforts to save for that 1 million. And that's why protection is the most important. No, so at least you do not have to take away from your savings and investments. You can just take money from the protection to cover all of those rainy day expenses. Now, Mr. Client, in order, will this planning pyramid is very important. However, it's I'd also like to understand more about your situation. Now, I'd like to ask you, Mr. Client, which of these are your top three priorities? Now, in this slide, my dear friends, all of these squares are also clickable or pin-dotable. So let's say our client has chosen three, their top three. Protect my children's future, fund for medical expenses, and comfortable retirement. Now, which of these three, Mr. Client, is your top one priority? So in this case, let's say the top one is protecting my child's future. Yan. So we can click on that and it will move us to this slide. So when we're trying to protect your children's future, as we can see, immediately palang when they're age 5, when we are about to send them to preschool, it's already talking about hundreds and thousands of pesos per year. And then even as they go through grade school and high school, that spending of hundreds of thousands continues. Let's put that into perspective. So let's say in grade school, rather in preschool, that's 2 years, junior prep, senior prep. Let's be conservative and say it's 150,000 pesos per year. So let's say it's 300,000 pesos for prep school. Now let's go naman to grade school. Let's also according to this chart, no? Let's say 100 pesos, 100,000 pesos per year. Now, in the K to 12 system, let's say from grade 1 to 7. So times 7 po. So we're talking 700,000 pesos for grade school. Now, for high school in the K to 12 system, my grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, and 12. So that's 5 years na. So let's say 150,000 pesos. Considering we want to send our child to the best school that we can, no? So 150,000 pesos times 5. So for high school, 750,000 pesos. Now, Mr. Client, where would you like to send your child to college? So in this case, let's pretend this client wants to send their children to De La Salle University. So sabihin natin sa De La Salle University, ang school of choice mo for your children. In La Salle, there are 3 SEMs. And per SEM, it's around, I don't know, around 200,000 or sabihin natin 80,000 per SEM. So 80,000 per SEM times 3. So 240. And multiply that by 4 years. Let's say the course is worth 4 years, a business course. So that's 960,000 pesos. And if we add all of your child for just one child pa lang, ha, let's add all of that up. Hold on. Plus 240,000 plus 96. There we go. So all in all, for one child, we need 2,950,000 pesos. And how much have you prepared for your son's future? 1 million, diba? So that's where so this is where you want to be. So right now, you are, stop na talaga kami sa 2 kids. Tama po, no? Ilang lotto tickets, diba? I agree. And right now, we are at 1 million, no? And where we want to get is 2.9 or let's say 3 million. But the 3 million doesn't stop there. No? Not only do we have to spend for tuition, which will in 5 years increase by by average of 10%. So that means every year it will increase by 10%. So whatever we see here, and even this 3 million that we have to prepare for, that might be much more in 5 years. And more than that, if let's say you want them to stay in a condo to make sure that they are in a safe space, syempre we have to pay for that. If you have separation anxiety and you miss your children and you want them to be at home every day, we have to make sure they have enough money to go home. For textbooks, it's not cheap anymore. One textbook nowadays can be 1,000 pesos for one sem only. And the modern school supply is no longer the pencil, crayon, and intermediate pad. It's now learning gadgets, which is iPad or mga Apple MacBooks, especially if they're into, you know, mga multimedia. And syempre, at the end of the day, we have to make sure that our children can eat 3 square meals a day. And even after they graduate, they are still getting their feet up in the real world. And we have to make sure we have some money to support them for those years ahead as well. So basically, let's say we're talking more than 3 million, sabihin na lang natin, an estimate. Later we can talk about it more, but right now, a safe estimate would be 3.5 million. So where we are now is 1 million. And where we want to be is 3.5 million. Now, why I'm here is I can actually help you get to that 3.5 million. So what if I told you that right now you can get that 3.5 million? Pwede ba yun? Would you like to find out how we can go straight to that 3.5 million without any, without having to go to the bank? Would you like to find out? Siyempre. So the good news is I'm here for you. Yes, diba? The good news is I'm here for you. I actually have the best solution that is light and easy in the pocket. Would you like to find out more? And that's when we bring out our mobile devices and or our laptops. And that is when we go to NGI pause and go for the close. And that is how we use the discovery tool. But however, let's say naman, let's go back to this slide. Let's say naman they want to explore their other priorities. Let's say their second priority was medical expenses. We can ask them, oh, sir, Mr. Client, how much did you prepare for medical expenses? Okay, 600,000. Well, if you were to prepare for medical expenses, these are the current struggles that we have to prepare for. Because when, you know, hospital rates aren't cheap. Here, as we can see palang, if we were to be struck by stroke, which is a leading cause of death in the Philippines, we would need 2 million to recover. And breast cancer is the most common type of cancer for, let's say your partner has a medical history or family medical history of breast cancer. We have to make sure that we have enough to protect them as well. No? Now, the average cost of insurance for or medical insurance in for Filipinos is 600,000. So you're right around the average. However, 600,000, well, I'd like to ask you, my dear friends, do you think 600,000 is enough to cover for these kinds of rainy days? It's not enough, right? However, so where we are right now is 600,000 and we want to get around 2 million just to be safe. What if I told you that right now I can take you straight to that 2 million pesos that we need for medical expenses? The good news is I'm here for you, Mr. Client. I am here for you and I have just a solution that fits your budget. Would you like to learn more about that? Yes, and that's again when we go back to our NGI pause and go for the proposal. So that, my dear friends, is how we can use the discovery tool. Now, the way I ran it is the way I've been, running this, and I've also personalized this. But I've sent this file plus a script for you to for you to use, and this is how the script will look like. Hold on, discovery. So this is how the script will look like, and you can use this to you can memorize this, practice it until your until your lips fall off, no? Because sooner or later you'll find your own style as well. And practice makes perfect. And through that, we are able to convince the client that we are here and we are here to take care of them. Because if there's anything that I like you to take away from our quick time together, it's that people buy people. And with that, my friends, that is how we run the discovery tool. I hope you enjoyed this online version as much as I did. And I hope and I wish you luck rather for the rest of this month and for this whole year as well as we take Starbright to the top.